welcome back to another Action Lighting video. My name's Elwood. I'm going to show you how to do some custom extension cords today. But first I got to say this. I'm not a licensed electrician. I've never been to electrical school. I'm basically making this video as a basic video to show you how something works. If you do not have electrical training, hire a professional. If you're not an electrician, hire a professional. It's really important when you're working with electricity to always be safe. So if you're unfamiliar with it, it is always best to hire a professional. All right, let's move on now. So the things you're going to be needing to make a custom extension cord is obviously a piece of wire. Right now in my hand, I have a piece of SPT2 zip cord or lamp wire or slaw wire, all kinds of names for it, man. So this is what's used commonly in the Christmas lighting industry. And then of course I have an SPT2 female and an SPT2 male. It is very important that if you're using SPT2 wire, you make sure always to use SPT2 plugs. Awesome. The other thing that's going to be really important when you're hooking these things up is the fact that these plugs are polarized. And you need to pay close attention to that, okay? So let's talk about that first. So with the female, as you're looking at the face of it, you can tell one of those are bigger than the other. The larger one is your polarized side. So obviously this side's polarized. So then you look in the back of the plug and you can see this is the tooth that you'll want to keep on the polarized side. I'll explain that in a second. Here on the male plug, same thing. You can see one of the prongs is bigger than the other. So when you flip it over to the back, this side is going to be the polarized side. So what I like to do is on our wire, as you can see, we got a smooth side, okay, and then we have the polarized side. Okay, or I should say the ribbed side. So I use this ribbing to put on my polarized side of my plugs. That way as I'm working, it's really easy to reference them. Okay. Before you start making any of these connections, it's always really important that you inspect the stuff you're using. First thing is you want to inspect your wire. You want to make sure that all this insulation is nice and intact. There's no holes in it. There's no punctures in it. There's nothing there that might cause a bit of electricity to spark or anything or arc. So you want to do that. Make sure you're safe. Also, inspect your ends. Make sure we got no frayed wires sticking out. This is all solid and it's looking good. All right, let's get started. So, of course, when you're hooking up a plug, it's really important that, you want to, before you put a male on one end, you want to deaden this other end so that this end's not live. So I'm going to show you how to put a female on this end first. So we're taking our female plug, and as I had said earlier, I'm looking at the polarized side. Okay, so there's my polarized side. I'm going to take a look at my wire. There's my rib side. Okay. What I'm going to do first before I actually put the plug in, though, is I'm actually going to bend this wire over a little bit, like so. Get to bend over my finger, and as you can see right there, the wire will pop out a little bit. Why don't you just go ahead and trim that off. Okay, once you got it trimmed, and you take it back, let me get that other side too. So as you can see, I bend the wire over. It pops out, and then basically cutting that off as flush with the insulation as possible. So as you can see, the wire is not sticking out. It's pulled back in. That way it's kind of protected. Won't make an arc when I stuff it down in here. So basically what you got is you kind of have this well on the far side of the female plug. You always want to make sure that you get this shoved down in there. If your plug were to have a fin in there, it's a great idea to split these wires, make sure one goes on each side so that spark can't arc across. This plug doesn't have that feature, so basically let's go back to, here we go, polarized side right there, polarized tooth on that side right there, rib side of the wire. Gonna go in like so, come back across, and then I'm just gonna push that down. I'm gonna push it down into that so that the vampire teeth go through the insulation and make that connection. So, and then basically just push the back on, and that will then secure it, hold it in place. So now that I have the female on there and I got to protect it, I'm going to go ahead and put our male plug on. Once again, I'm looking at the big fin on this guy. See how this that fin's way bigger? So I'm going to use that one. That's my polarized side. So smooth side of the wire, ribbed side of the wire. Kind of make sure, trim my wires before I stick them in there. Oh, this one looks like I had already done it, so we are already good to go on that one. So rib side, big fin side, so in we go. I'm going to fold that over. And I'm going to go ahead and push the back down. Sometimes they can be a little tough to push down, but basically the more you can push the wire down into the groove before you slide the back on, the easier it's going to be. So I'm getting all tangled up. So here we go. And I'm just using the table to push down on it to get it to go all the way. So there we go, got that on there. So now we have a completed extension cord. Mine's really short, of course, but so what, Elwood? I can buy one of those at the hardware store. Here's where these become really great. This is what I love about this plug. Okay, so let's say I've run this all the way across the front of my house and now I want to plug in a bunch of different lights. It's really easy to do. What you're going to do is you're going to take this female plug, and as you can see earlier, how it's set up right now, it's set up as an end, okay? Greatest thing here, as you can see, it's got a little snap gate right there. All you do is you want to take a needle nose pliers, put it in there, and pop that thing out. Just like that. Boom. Pulls right out, okay? So once you got that piece out, once again, going back, polarized side of the female plug, which is this front pin, that front tooth right there that you can see. Front tooth, rib side of the wire, set it right in there like that. Push that through. On like so. Slide your back on. Boom, you're good to go. Man, I can tap into that now, which is awesome, okay? Next question, how many of these can you put on a line? Well, like I said, if you're not a professional electrician, please hire one. It's all gonna depend on how many watts and amps you're pulling and what you're plugging in. So, just to review a little bit, always use the matching wire to the corresponding plug. If you're using an SPT wire, always use SPT plugs. Always consult a professional. And next time you need more tips, always tune in to Action Lighting's YouTube, and you can find us on Facebook also. Check us out online at actionlighting.com or give us a call, 1-800-248-0076. And remember, Action Lighting, we've been making the holidays bright for 31 years. Thank you.